I found my solution, maybe, to the set-piece defending problem. And it comes in the form of a fish. Will you believe me if I tell you that? Well, you better. Will Fish, 24 years old, new centre-back signing, 16 heading, 15 jumping reach. We've pried him away from a team in our own division in Cardiff. He was transfer listed, and I'm not sure why. I did decide to swoop in for him. You might be wondering, Jack, why have you signed a centre-back? And, well, there is a reason for that. The reason for that is Jack Kingdon is no longer here. The king has fallen. And I got £3.3 million for him. Yeah, we'd had bids in the region of £1 million kind of at the end of last episode, and I wasn't willing to go that low. When Wrexham bid £3.3 million, I just couldn't say no, could I? When you consider the man in blue was 15 times cheaper to buy than the man in green we sold, I feel like this just looks like a sensible deal. And it is definitely going to help on the finances front. Of course, we have these crazy facilities at this level that we managed to get upgraded via FA Cup runs. But as of late, we've been losing money every year. Our finances started the year at about £7 million. At the start of this month, they were below £5 million. So to get a £3.3 million sale done just helps us sit back into the black. And it does also mean, crucially, we don't have to sell anyone else this window. And when I've got the likes of Ajaria still attracting interest, albeit he's not got happy yet, has Ajaria. I feel like not feeling the pressure to sell players is important. I am feeling a little bit of pressure in the case of Aaron Allen. The 18-year-old, unhappy, has actually requested a transfer, which I turned down. There's a growing list of teams interested in him, but compared to Ajaria, his valuation is really, really low. Now, you might have spotted it already at the top. We are currently top of League One as we head into today's episode, where we're actually kicking it off with an FA Cup game, but crucially, we've played a game more than everyone behind us. So when all the games are played, we could find ourselves back down in fourth. But you know what? With 13 games left of the league season, things are hotting up. Today, FA Cup against Wycombe. After that, Derby in fourth. Big games today. Let's run the intro and get into things. Today, by the way, is episode number 28 of Park to Prem. I hope you guys have had a lovely week so far and you're looking forward to your weekend. If you're enjoying the series, I don't often ask for this at the start of the video, go down below, leave a like. You'd be amazed how much just engagement in general helps with the videos. A few people have noticed lately the YouTube weird bots, the ones that have the butt profile pictures, they're out enforcing the channel. I am trying to keep on top of it. The only way I can sort it is to manually delete them, and it is a bit of a chore. So apologies if there's butt comments when you scroll down and you're at work. And if I say butt comments and you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you don't watch the videos when they first go up, and you're probably better off for that. Now, first things first, if you're wondering, Jack, how's the injury situation looking? Well, we've had 7 injuries so far in January. It's not really got better in terms of number of injuries. However, the injuries we've had have been very, very minor. And as a result of that, there's not many players injured at the moment. In fact, the 2 players currently injured are Corey Gerrard, who was injured obviously last episode, and unfortunately it's another one of the youngsters, Burgess, the centre-back / centre defensive mid, out of a torn back muscle, out for 2 to 5 weeks. He's played a lot of minutes ready for us this year, an unexpectedly high amount. Little bit of a shame that he's got injured. Good news, although the injury is fresh, it's not impacting his development yet. Although, obviously, these green arrows probably not going to be green for much longer. Now, since last episode, just 4 games played. The first of those, a nice little win against Derby County in the EFL Trophy. 2-1 win, last-minute goal for them was not enough. You can see here in this game, an unlikely hero, Egbo got man of the match. With that result, by the way, we are into the quarter-final of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, a name that rolls off the tongue. We've got Rochdale in that game. I'm not going to do that today, even though it sits between the 2 matches we will be doing today, simply because I don't really like this competition. I feel like this competition was ruined as soon as under-21 Premier League teams were allowed to play in it. And in terms of stuff that's a priority it's not. So far this month, just 1 game we didn't win, and it was this one here against MK Dons. We took the lead late on in this game, and Bete with an effort from range. Bit unusual for him to get on it, and then heartbreak. 90th minute, holding on a little bit, although, to be honest, we've been the better team. MK Dons, ball into the box, Dennis scored, and 2 points dropped. Good news is, though, since then, we've bounced back with some good results. The first against Salford, a 1-0 win. This was a bit nervy, to be honest. We took the lead early on in this game and we were very much holding on at the end. But crucially, they didn't score, kept a not much appreciated clean sheet. And then most recently against Carlisle, away from home, 4-1 win. Dane Scarlett with 2 goals was great to see. We also missed a penalty in this game, which was a tad frustrating. You might remember Carlisle started off this season absolutely amazingly. They're now down in 20th. All I'm going to say is, in terms of falls from grace, it's been a bit of a tumble, hasn't it, if you're a Carlisle fan? Our recent wibble wobble certainly doesn't look that bad, does it, in context? That is the official terminology, by the way, for what we've gone through lately. A wibble wobble. But you know what? I think we're done wibbling and wobbling. We've been getting into winning ways. I'm going to hope that continues in this game here as we take on Wycombe. Now, Wycombe are currently 12th in League One, a mid-table team, but I imagine they're going to have a bit more of a focus than us on the FA Cup. That said, in spite of the fact that we have a few players coming back from injury, I'm going all out in this game. I'd love to make the FA Cup 5th round. Worth noting that a load of League One teams are playing at the same time as us here. I think a number of these are teams behind us. So keep an eye on things. In fact, I'm looking, Barnsley are playing. Do Wigan play? Wigan don't play. Derby don't play. Okay, well, you know what? We can't drop out the promotion spot today, at least. Now, a bit unfortunate, really. Will Fish is cup-tied, so he will not be able to feature in today's first match. He will play in the later game against Derby, I am certain. In terms of the team news for today's game, we are just about at full strength. Obviously, at centre-back, there's a little bit of a shuffle. Edmondson is going to be the man who plays in the middle, and then we're going to play Orr at the wider centre-back area. Of course, normally Orr will be on the bench, but with Will Fish cup-tied, that change is enforced. Elsewhere in the team, pretty much at full strength. One minor exception, I suppose, is JB. Still coming back from his injury. I've been told a fitness test is not required. He's not match sharp. His condition isn't there. He's an option on the bench, but we're going to keep faith in Carl Flood. And to be honest, Carl Flood might just have to stay in the team. Look how good his form has been. He has been one of the standout players at Register for us this year. Feels a bit weird I'm saying that because I hadn't been convinced with him until lately. But yeah, he feels like he's turned a corner, Flood. We tried playing him at centre attacking mid. That's not worked. Since JB got injured and he's dropped deeper, been a much better player for us. And well, based on recent form, based on the opposition we have today, I'm expecting a good result against a Wycombe team. We're playing in snow. Oh my word, this never happens. The lines are painted blue. The snow looks awful in Football Manager. I feel like it's not changed in years. Then again, you maybe see it once or twice a year, don't you? Look, we're going to play in the snow. We're going to enjoy it. It's actually raining, I think, in the match engine, unless this is snow falling. Doesn't look like snow. Maybe. Well, I was going to say, maybe I can add snow to the thumbnail. Can I do that? You know what? Instead of worrying about that, maybe I should worry about the fact that AA there just hit the woodwork. Could have taken an early lead and didn't. 20 minutes into this game, that shot for AA, the only highlight we've had so far. We're not having that much more of the ball than them. In fact, it's very 50-50. Chance-wise, it's been even too, but the game very much bogged down, it seems, in the midfield. Wycombe are playing much, much deeper than us. And while we're struggling to break them down and given our normal shape, we kind of want to invite pressure forward. It's not really happened so far. And now AA's got injured. Right as I thought the injuries were stopping, they're back. I want to cry. Okay, you know what, Egbo, you got man of the match recently. Come on at left back and show me what you got. I mean, given the fact that AA's been requesting a transfer lately, if he just wants to get injured for the rest of January so no one wants to sign him because he'd fail a fitness test, that could work in a somewhat cynical way. Game is 0-0 here at the break. If it goes to a replay, obviously, we will be doing the replay today. If we get to the FA Cup 5th round, and I'll be honest, it's still a bit of a big but if we could do it, based on the games we've had, it'd be very funny, because the games that we've had have not been that difficult so far. If we don't win here, I'm going to view it as a chance missed. Looking at our stats in this game, we've not been at our best. I'm going to take off Aaron Ramsey and bring in Geldhart at centre attacking mid. Elsewhere, you know what? JB, come on down. Marsh, come on down. Fresh legs needed in the midfield. Matos still coming back from his injury that he had last episode. In fact, I think he got another knock after last episode. Either way, he's not 100% sharp just yet. So a few changes in the middle, I think, could be what's needed. And I mean, there's 18 minutes left this game. Wycombe haven't had a shot on target yet. I don't know why I said anything. I regret saying anything. They've got a free kick. Morrison is over it. Anson might be called into action. I mean, that was not a good free kick. He was called into action in the sense he made a good dive. You know, the photographers, if they got that picture and this finishes 0-0, that might be the highlight of the game. Late on here, probably too late to be making changes, but I'm going to go with a double change in the final third. Wait, oh yeah, I already subbed off AA. Right, you know what? White can stay on, Taylor on Wycombe. This is going to a replay. What an awful game. What an awful... I hope that hasn't rearranged the Derby County game or I'm going to be really annoyed. Wycombe hold out for a draw. AA's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Brilliant. Well, we'll leave that to the physio. Edmondson needs a rest. I want to cry. Apparently, Daniel Farker's looking at Ajaria and AA. I'll tell you who we had recently at our ground looking at Ajaria. This sounds mental. Mourinho. Yeah, that's right. Jose, he's at Napoli. He was at our ground midweek. Imagine Mourinho midweek at a League One game. It happened. The good news is he came and watched Ajaria and decided he wasn't good enough, apparently. I mean, silver lining to the AA injury, no one's probably going to sign him now in this window. So that's good. That game finished 0-0, which means we aren't going to have that replay. The replay is on the 3rd of February. You know what? I'm going to go do Derby and Wycombe today. We'll throw in deadline day if any drama happens. With that in mind, sorry, Rochdale, you are an afterthought. I'm going to go and play the Bristol Street Motors Trophy off camera. We're coming back for the Derby County game. That is a must-win game at the top of League 2. Speaking of which, just spotted here, Barnsley won during that free game. They beat Salford 1-0. They are now top. Okay, Derby County in a week. Gonna hope we can keep hold of our players. Don't go anywhere. Okay, folks, some good news. We managed to beat Rochdale. I don't really care about this competition, but if we go in a run in it, that would be nice. Rochdale in League 2 maybe should have been beating them more comfortably. Did heavily rotate the team. Ashley Fletcher, coming back from that long-term injury he had, broke his arm and is out for another 5 to 7 weeks. I really should have sold him in the summer when I had a chance. He is now going to have missed 5 months worth of football this season. Here is, by the way, the blocked out best 11. Of course, AA we knew was going to be unavailable for this game. Connor Pye is going to come in his place. To be fair, when we've called upon Pye, he is still doing a job for us. It's a bit unfortunate, really. He doesn't find himself on the bench like Egbo does, simply because Egbo can play both left wing back and right wing back, but Pye on occasion can come in. Elsewhere, JB injured again. Don't worry, he's just got a cold. I could have let him come to the club and spread it around the club. I decided to send him home. Are the people who hit the club option when players have colds? I feel like if people do that, you probably are a psychopath. And I don't know if I can trust you. It's weird though. I do think, how many times have I had a player get a cold, kept them at the club, and then everyone's got infected? And it hasn't really happened ever, in my experience. But I'm sure it could happen, and I don't want to risk it. Anyway, this game against Derby is a pretty darn big one. We now find ourselves in 3rd just due to the games that have been played elsewhere. Barnsley and Wigan ahead of us. Everyone now has the same number of games played. Whoever loses out of ourselves and Derby really is going to lose some ground to the teams above. I think it is also worth pointing out, Derby County were really bloody good at one point. Their slump has been worse than ours. Look at their recent form. They have just been knocked out by Man City in the FA Cup 4th round. Speaking of which, obviously we've got the Wycombe game on the 3rd of August in the FA Cup. The 5th round draw has happened. The winner gets to take on Man City away. I'd quite like that game for the money. Anyway, game number 2 today. Couple of changes, a couple of deviations away from our best possible 11, but still a very, very strong team at our disposal. Should be more than capable, I think, of getting a result here. We beat Derby 3-0 when we met them earlier on in the year. They've not won in ages, so I mean, because of how Football Manager works, they'll probably now win this one. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, worth noting, Fish, wherever Fish is, he's in the ocean, he's in the middle. Fish! I'm trying to click on him. There is Mr. Fish, the new signing. Keep an eye on his defensive duties. We brought him in from Cardiff to be a big gun. I'm going to hope he can deliver. That was a shot from range. That was a bit scary for a second, but it has gone over. Tell you what, so far early on, Derby, all the rage, having loads and loads of chances. Radcliffe to Bar, cuts inside, lovely little touch, shoots, deflects, Anson holds on to it. Valenzuela on the far side gives it to Radcliffe. Another chance. Bar, we've seen this before. That was not in the area. Referee, you've had a mare there. Might have been on the line. It's a penalty to Derby. I feel like Anson hasn't had a heroic moment yet as a goalkeeper. A moment to endear himself to me. He's just been Panenka'd. It's not happening there either, is it? I was really trying to talk that into existence. I mean, shout out to their penalty taker. He's actually Panenka'd it. He's actually chipped it down the middle and made Anson look like a right knob. Okay, a goal down, but a kickoff highlight. Reason for hope, perhaps? Reason for optimism? Maybe. We've had 64% of the ball. Not doing nearly enough with it, but maybe that can change here. Flood to Scarlett. I don't know why he shot from there, but it nearly went in, so I'm not even mad. Corner, Ramsey whipping it towards the back post. Edmondson's under it, heads it down, and it's Georgie Edmondson, our pylon of a defender, with his 9th goal of the year. Jacob Ramsey whipping it towards the back post. Edmondson had 3 men on him. None of them could stop him. It's 1-1. We're back in this. I mean, 40 minutes into this game, Derby have not had that many chances. They've scored their only shot on target, and it looks like at the break, this game is destined to go in all square. 1-1. It wouldn't be the worst result, but it's not what we need. Going to tell the players I'm far from happy with their performance. There's been a couple of, good performances in there, but yeah, need a little bit more from big players like Andy White. Speaking of which, I've not clicked on his profile in a while. Look how good Andy White is now. It's actually disgusting. Okay, early stages of this second half. Pi wins a really big header. Matos now with it for us. Brings it through the middle. Ramsey has an assist and now has a goal. Aaron Ramsey, 10 goals for the season. He only signed for us in November. I think it was November. Might have been October. I digress. It doesn't matter. He has been a revolutionary signing for us. He's forced Joe Gelhardt down to the bench and as more of a backup striker option. But this man, he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. Having taken the lead here, I'm still going to make some changes. I'm going to bring in Gelhardt to play at pressing forward. I feel like Joe Gelhardt is a weird player because I don't really love him as a striker, but with Ramsey's form, it's hard to find a spot for him there. As a striker, as a pressing forward, I feel like he's lacking a couple of the physicals and a couple of the mentals I'd like. I kind of look at the low composure and finishing, and that puts me off him as a striker. But to be fair, when we played him at striker, he's got 4 goals in 13. He's been better as an attacking mid, but he can't play there. Just questioning if I want to make more changes here. Pye's not had the best of games. Edmondson on a booking scares me, but he's just so good I have to keep him on. There's a temptation to take off Ajaria and bring in Marsh, but I'm not going to do it. Barrington, free kick, shoots. That was not far away from the goal, was it? Flood for us has now picked up a booking. That might force my hand a little bit just to get some fresh legs into the midfield. I can't afford to go a man down in this game. Pye, Ramsey, Andy, do it! I feel like Andy hasn't had that many great performances this season in live commentaries. I'm trying to think. Has he scored in a live commentary? It feels like it's been forever. Andy, missing the target completely. He's got to make amends. He could still make amends. He battles for it. Ramsey gets onto it. He scores again. Aaron Ramsey has a non-promotion release clause. This boy wants promotion. He wants to stay. Andy White, with his physicality, battling out of the centre-back. I was half expecting a foul or something to be given, but in the kerfuffle, Ramsey finds the loose ball and tucks it away beautifully. Okay, I'm going to change our mentality here to balanced, and I'm also going to bring in George Marsh. I'm going to move Matos to play at Regista, Marsh to play as a defensive mid option. Ajaria off for Egbo too. And I hope I don't regret this. I'm going to bring in Zach, a ball-playing defender at right centre-back. I feel like Zach is good enough to play at this level, and I just feel like at the moment, I need to not get a man sent off. We're in a controlling position in this game where Derby haven't done much. Their shape means they are naturally going to sit fairly deep. You can kind of see with the average positions. They're a little deeper than us, although there's not a great deal in it. Not exactly got a high line of engagement. So as we look to distribute the ball to the centre-backs, we can kill a lot of the time just by sitting back and passing the ball around the back now. Anyway, it's 3-1. There is 7 minutes left. Egbo, massive header there. Great to see. White finds himself in a deep area, gives it to the Fish, who so far, I mean, he's not put a foot wrong in this episode. I don't want to jinx it. He's looked quite good. Egbo across to Pye. From one wing back to the other. Joe, in the middle, scores. Gelhardt with his 11th, our 4th of the game too. Twice we've played Derby this year in live commentaries in the league. They've been right up there on both occasions. Twice we've beaten them rather emphatically. This game isn't over yet, of course, but 3 goals to the good, 6 minutes left. It feels done. Oh, why not another? Joe, he's just scored. Now he's got a corner. Gelhardt whipping it in. Where is Fish? There's Fish. It's not got to him, but it might still come in his vicinity. Egbo, Gelhardt scores. It's 5-1. Derby have been embarrassed. Initial corner was half dealt with, but we managed to keep it in a dangerous area, and Gelhardt here kept his run inside, having taken the corner, and finished delightfully. Maybe 11 finishing is fine. 6 minutes of added time at the end of this game are going to come and go. 5-1. A massive win. Great for the goal difference. Great, hopefully, for our league position as well. Has that changed the complexion of things at the top? I'll tell you what, it firmly dumps Derby downwards. They are now 5 points behind with 12 games remaining. We leapfrog ahead of Barnsley. They could only draw against Bolton. Sadly, elsewhere, Wigan Did Wigan drew as well. Wow, okay. Wow. Everyone around us slipped up. Aaron Ramsey with 2 goals in this game. Absolutely mega from him. He has been so good since we picked him up. Wigan are the informed team, by the way, unbeaten in their last 10, top of the table. And in fact, I've just noticed here, we play them after the Wycombe game. I've really planned today poorly. Should we do 2 more games today? I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I was originally going to have a little bit of a focus on deadline day today, but I don't see that being a thing simply because due to FFP, I can't sign anyone. We're right up against our wage cap. I can't sign anyone for less than £2,400 or more than £2,400, which in reality isn't going to strengthen our team. So you know what? I'm going to get to that game against Wycombe. It's 3 days away. We're going to do that. And then we're doing the Wigan game as well. We'll do them all live if we have to. I'll tell you what, 4 games today, Editing Jack is in his cage, raging. We do not care. Now, deadline day has come and gone. 1 new signing made, Yeboah. Yeah, I decided to go out and get another backup striker just because, to be honest, I've had too many injuries in this part of the pitch. You can see here, his wage contribution we're paying is just over £200. Very good value for money striker. As you can see here, there was loads of interest in Ajaria and Aaron Allen here. Massive bids came in. I decided to reject them all, not just because they're great players, but also because due to the FFP rules, I wouldn't actually be able to replace them. Obviously, you can see our wage expenditure has to be below £83,000. It's currently £81,000. We actually are spending more than that on wages, but homegrown under 21 players don't count towards the wage cap, which means players like Ajaria and AA obviously don't count towards that wage cap. So if I was to sell them, I wouldn't actually be able to buy anyone in to replace them because anyone I bring in, their wages are going to count towards the cap. Those players currently don't count towards it. It's why we're currently spending £97,000. So yeah, that's my justification for not selling the players. The offers were a little tempting in the case of AA, but he'd be a big miss. Anyway, this is our FA Cup replay against Wycombe. We are going full strength for this game. You can see the situation. Look at the injuries and cup-tied players along the bottom here. It's getting a little out of control. Ashley Fletcher out with that broken arm. Voltman has now picked up an injury for up to 4 weeks. Again, number of reasons to bring in Yeboah. The injuries was the biggest one. In terms of the starting 11 for today's game, though, very strong starting 11. Hopefully, we're going to get the results we need here. I know I said it at the start of the video, but if you are appreciative of the fact we're doing 4 matches today, it helps cheer up Editing Jack. Leave a like. I'll keep saying it. Just leave a like. Feed the algorithm. Ultras, assemble. Worth noting that at centre-back, we have had to rotate things around just a little bit. Obviously, we had the cup tie in the case of Fish at left centre-back, and Bete, very tired, needed a rest. So Deborah comes back into the team with Vora. Of course, players who were mainstays of the first team last year. In both cases, they've played games in League One and proven their worth. They should be capable of doing something in this game here, as right now, we're battering Wycombe in this first half, but we're just not finding the breakthrough. They are playing in green and white. We are playing in black. Right now, though, whilst having more of the ball than us, we've had 5 shots to their 2, and we're on the attack here. And guess who it is? It's Ramsey. It's a goal. That's 3 goals in his last 2 games. Wycombe somewhat shot themselves in the foot as they gave the ball to Ramsey there. He picked it up, though, with plenty to do, and do it, he most certainly did. Our first game against Wycombe wasn't exactly a classic. This one is following a very similar mould. Not a lot happening. But at the break, we are a goal to the good, and we definitely deserve that. Ramsey, I've just noticed here, picked up a little knock right at the start of this half. I'm going to have to take him off. But you know what? Gelhardt played very well on off the bench last game. Going to get to play his preferred position at centre attacking mid here. Hopefully he's going to deliver for us. I mean, the first game against Wycombe finished 0-0. This one is 1-0. It doesn't feel like a game that's going to have a load of chances or a load of goals. So a second goal could be the all-decisive one. Pi hits both posts. I've hit my microphone in the kerfuffle. I don't know how that didn't go in. 20 minutes left in this game. I think I'm going to make some subs just to bring in some fresh legs here. I'm going to bring in Egbo at left back, JB at Regista, Marsh at defensive mid. Just some fresh legs there, I think, the order of the day. And up top, I'm going to bring in Taylor at pressing forward. Taylor, by the way, not having a bad season, just not having a great season either. He started off with some really good form. He's got 10 goals for the season, but as you can see, lately when we've used him, he's not exactly delivered. This, of course, is our second replay in this FA Cup run, and it's really adding to the number of fixtures we are having to play as a club right now. We are probably going to exceed 60 games played this season, which is absolutely absurd. I'm going to hope it doesn't catch up with us towards the end of the year. To be honest, I always feel like the December-January period is that super rammed period, and then the turn of the year happens, and things become easier. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Things have got easier in this game. JB's shot deflects, and is in the back of the net. Not the prettiest of goals here, but JB is going to claim it. He shoots, it hits Bakinson. Keeper was on his arse one way, the ball went the other. 5 minutes left of this game, still 2 goals to the good here. It's been one-way traffic for much of this game, and well, we could be looking for a third goal here. Taylor has been in some poor form. I'd love to see him score. He's dispossessed. It falls to Andy White. Thought there might be a hint of offside. Flag wasn't raised. It's 3-0. That's game over. Really good dominant display in this one. We have Man City to look forward to. That's going to be fun. Ramsey's out for 2 to 3 weeks. That's less fun. I think I know what match we're going to be doing next episode. Ramsey injury sparks injury crisis. Yeah, it's been an issue this year. Okay, 4th and final game today, Wigan. We're going to get straight to this one. It is top and second playing against one another. Whoever wins here will be top of the league. Let's go and make it us, shall we? Okay, folks, 4th and final game today. Arguably the biggest. I thought the Derby County one was going to be the biggest. Wigan have come from nowhere as one of our big threats. Now I want to take them down. If we win this game here, we can go to the top of the table with everyone on the same number of games. That would be mega to do. In terms of team selection, well, the injuries, they are still very much there. AA injured, isn't back in time. Burgess injured, isn't back. Aaron Ramsey out too. Massive miss for us there. It means that Gelhardt is going to come in and play at centre attack in mid. Elsewhere in the team, Flood is in at Regista. JB played that last game, but fitness test-wise, match sharpness-wise, not quite there. The new signing, though, Yeboah, lurking on the bench. If we need a goal, I feel like this could be a man we can bring on to really change games. Wigan's media prediction, by the way, was 7th. Their key player is Brad Young in goal. Gonna have to try and score a few, I think, past him. Okay, on the road here, taking on the team in second. A free kick early on, a set-piece routine. I'm so glad the flag's been raised there. That would have been such a gutting way to concede early. Then again, you know what? It might not be over. The highlight continues straight from that offside. Pie at left back today. Hopefully gonna make stuff work when things need to be worked by him. Scarlett has the ball, gives it to Fish. Now, Mbete. Around the back we go. I miss Kingdon at the back, but I think Fish is a fitting replacement. Andy White takes it down. Andy White scores. He's offside, isn't he? He's offside. Both teams have a goal ruled out inside 4 minutes. And having had those 2 chances early on, it was a slow remainder of the last 12 minutes. So, of course, as soon as I opened my gob, they had a chance. They had a header. They hit the woodwork. It's not away from danger. I'm not enjoying this. Bennett pulls the trigger. Back post. Butcher's lurking. Ajaria gets it away. Wigan. They could be 2 up right now. Halfway through this first half, not a load of chances either way. The 2 disallowed goals and then that woodwork hit by Wigan. The only highlights we've seen. A game bogged down in the midfield. I don't mind that. Less than 5 minutes remaining of this first half. Nothing is happening until now. Bennett whips it in. It's headed away, is it? No, what? Sorry, Fish has handballed it. He doesn't even have hands. He's a fish. They've got a penalty. Oh, right before half-time, a penalty for Wigan. Anson, don't get Panenka today. Try and save it though, mate. It's 1-0 Wigan and I'm just sad. That new signing I bigged up at the start of today's episode to deal with set pieces has done well, hasn't he? He's handballed it there from a corner. You couldn't make it up. And with that all said and done, that is the end of the first half. Lads, you've been terrible. Sort it out in this second half. Free kick. Whipped in. Sorry, that highlight started so quickly. It's going to count. What just happened? I mean, it's another set piece goal. Of course it is. I'm so sad. Where's Fish? Where is Fish? Edmondson's there. Pye's there. Anson couldn't get near it. It's a crazy header. What a weird highlight. Football Manager started that one so soon. After the ball's hit from the free kick, I wasn't ready for it. And well, we've got a mountain to climb. And before I can even think about changing things, there's another highlight. So let's not overreact just yet. We could respond immediately. That would be nice. Edmondson, Ajaria. Inside. Gelhard misses the target. Now, since last episode, I've been cooking. I've been kicking up a plan for games like this one. Games where we need to chase things. This is the change in game plan. We go to a 4-2-2-2. When you look at it, it's actually a kind of minor change to the system that we play in terms of personnel. Just one of the centre-backs becoming a centre attacking mid. I'm going to bring in JB. I'm going to swap him and Flood around. So Flood is going to play as the advanced playmaker with Gelhard to the left. I kind of want to make more changes here, but I just don't really have the option to change things up. Gelhard's on a 6.3. Oh, you know what? It could be Yeboah's time to shine. I'm going to bring in Yeboah. He's going to play as a pressing... In fact, no, he's not playing as a pressing forward. He's going to play as a second advanced forward alongside Andy White. Two loney strikers, two mercenaries for hire. I need them to deliver now. I'm currently on positive. We're going to attacking. We are going to try... and we'll get our groove on and try and get a goal or two. Of course, with us going to this more attacking system, we're going to leave ourselves more open, but we're 2 goals down to Wigan here, and truthfully, we've not really looked like scoring in this game. Yes, they've scored a penalty and a set piece, but we ourselves not done enough going forward. I think having an extra attacking player could help with that. Oh, maybe it's just going to lead to further disaster. It's 3-0. I'll tell you what, how much of a rollercoaster have the last few videos been? I mean, what is this? Wigan, we had a chance to go ahead of them. Weir whips it in. Ajaria forgets he can jump. And, I mean, we have 35 minutes to score 3. I'm going to make this system even more attacking. We're going to go to attacking. I'm going to get rid of distribute to centre-backs and put it to distribute to playmaker. In possession, we're already forcing it through the middle. Let's play even more narrower, but slightly more direct. I know a 3-goal margin isn't exactly a thing you turn around every day of the week, but we have quality in the final third. We have capable players. I need them to show it. Gelhard to Pai. Options inside. He drifts inside of his own. Matos, Flood, Ajaria. Why is he shot? Why has he shot? Okay, Young, the goalkeeper, who I said, oh, we're going to have to try and test him. Yeah, that's gone well, hasn't it? He's going to distribute the ball long here. It's coming down with snow on it, and Bete wins the header. And now... well, there's a battle in the midfield going on that sees us come away with it. JB drifting into a wide area. Of course, our centre mids kind of have to do that with the absence of wider attacking midfielders. Matos shoots. It's a great save by Young. Andy White, corner, whips it in. Edmondson was under it, didn't even jump. We've still got it, maybe. Ajaria, Edmondson goes right, dribbles with the ball, dispossessed, but Ajaria still has it. 1 goal now, maybe there's a chance. Yeboah! Not the best of headers, the commentator says. That is an understatement, isn't it? 5 minutes left, and whilst we've had this late flurry of chances, we're yet to find a breakthrough. Like, these chances are lovely. We've not scored. You can't win a game if you don't score. And sadly, with 4 minutes of added time here, I hate to say it, we've been battered. We've been battered. I don't feel like we were that bad in reality. I feel like 3-0 flatters Wigan, but nevertheless, they took their chances. That penalty right before half-time was a real game changer. I'm going to find the positives. Barnsley lost to Cardiff, so they couldn't move up, and Derby could only draw against MK Dons. We remain in second, and I'm not sure how. Safe to say that with 11 games left of the season, very likely this year's going to go down to the wire, but we still have a side quest or two going on. We've got the Bristol Street Motors Trophy going on. We've also got the FA Cup against Man City. That's what we're coming back for next time. Plan of attack for tomorrow. We'll do the Man City game. That comes midway through February. And after that, a youth intake to look forward to, which, if we look at the candidates, doesn't actually look that impressive. But maybe David will surprise us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the 4 matches live today. Fun to do something a bit spontaneous, a bit different. Bit of a mammoth job editing-wise for me to get done. Hopefully this video is released on time and I didn't bite off more than I can chew. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Monday for more. Appreciate you watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you next week. I'm out.